What's going on, guys? It's Barry here with the Scryguystv, and today we're going to be doing a top 10 reprints of Ravnica Remastered. And yes, I made sure to put 10 this time. If you guys saw my previous video for top 10 Planeswalkers for EDH, I completely shat the bed and only put 9. So today I made sure to put 10 for this one, and today we're talking about Ravnica Remastered, like I said. And here, let's check out our reprints, our sick reprints. First up, we got Muddle the Mixture, which is a blue instant counter target instant sorcery spell, or it has transmute 1 and 2 blue. I mean, this card is in about, I don't know, 90,000 decks on EDH Rec. Definitely, it's very multifaceted. Being able to counter some key target instant sorceries when you needed to, or when you needed to, you transmute it and go get a combo piece. Possibly the one that really just comes to mind is a Basalt Monolith and a Kinnan deck. But yeah, I think there's just a lot of versatility to this. I'm not too sure about the price point before the reprint, but as far as the foil for this had gone, it was fairly expensive, at least to my knowledge, for the foil version for this. So if you're out there trying to foil out a Esper deck or a mono blue deck or whatever, and you wanted the Muddle the Mixture but didn't want to drop the $30 to $40 price tag on this, Ravnica Remastered has you covered. And it's really cool because you can get it in this old bordered foil, which, I mean, I know the quality isn't going to be the same as when they were making foils in this border, but what can you say about that? Talk to Hasbro. Next up, we got Pariah Shield, a 5-mana artifact equipment. All damage that would be dealt to you is dealt to equipped creature instead. Equip for 3. Now, I believe before the reprint, at least before the Lisk had released this as a reprint, this card was going for like about $25 to $30, and now it's crashed down to $5. But it's still really cool to have. I think there's a lot of specific decks that really want this type of thing. You could also, it's another combo piece for you to be able to draw the game out. Which is like, I absolutely hate games that end up in a draw. We have a guy in our play group that does that quite a bit, and to very much his success. But no, this one is definitely, especially it's great for those Jared decks, the Naya Jared guy. But yeah, nice to see this as a reprint. I feel like a lot of people still haven't really played around with this card enough. Obviously, you can put this on indestructible creatures as well. Creatures like Avacyn or something like that, that gives everything indestructible, and Eldrazi. It's just a lot of ways for you to kind of use this in specific spots, but it's nice to see another reprint, because as good, as nice as the List reprint was, it was still kind of limited. So this one is a nice way to also just get it in the old bordered frame as well. Next, we got Deathrite Shaman, a hybrid Golgari creature elf shaman. Tap, exile target land from a graveyard, add 1 mana of any color. Tap for black, exile target instant sorcery from a graveyard, each opponent loses 2 life. And tap for a green, exile target creature card from a graveyard, you gain 2 life. Now, this card was much more expensive than it is now, when it was still legal, and I believe Legacy. But after the ban for that, it crashed down to like around $5 to $6. But I always find myself needing one whenever I'm building any kind of deck in this type of color pie, just because it is also, not only is it a pretty versatile mana dork, not only is it a mana dork, but it has a lot of versatility to it, being able to maybe exile a target instant sorcery that someone is trying to fetch from the bin, or trying to exile a creature that someone's trying to reanimate. So it's just a lot of spots that you can fit this in, and I'm not surprised. I'm more surprised that it isn't as many decks that I've played across when I play at random game shops. Sometimes I don't see it. Maybe the game just doesn't go long enough and they don't draw into it, or maybe they just don't have it in their deck. But definitely, yeah, I would like to see this. It's a nice little control piece too. But for the most part, everyone's like, all right, everyone's playing a fetch land, right? So at the worst, it's a mana dork. I don't see this. I don't see a crash drop or a price drop from this, even though this is a reprint, because it is still a very used card in Commander. Next we got Lord of the Void, 4 and 3 black creature demon, flying. Whenever Lord of the Void deals combat damage to a player, exile the top 7 cards of that player's library, then put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield under your control. Okay, 7 mana in Commander has become a lot nowadays. I mean, obviously there's ways for you to cheat this out when you bury it alive and reanimate it, or animate dead or something like that. I remember this wasn't too much of a terror in Standard, but if it did get to stick around, it was scary. I mean, this, a 7 mana flyer that gets you a creature from your deck is kind of terrible, and then if they get you another Lord of the Void, then you're like, all right, scoop, the game is over. But the price for this was hovering about to $15 to $18. Now with this reprint, I could see it maybe crashing down to a little bit of $8 to $10 range. I don't see this fairly often, even in Commander anymore, but I could see maybe with this more recent reprint, it's gonna maybe come back to the table a little bit more. You know, a lot of more battle cruiser Magic players will probably be like, oh, okay, well, it's like $8 now, $7 now, I can pick one up. Sometimes, you know, $15 to $20 is still quite a bit. So definitely a fun card to play around. It's definitely a pet. I know there's people out there watching right now that this is their pet card, and they kind of put it into every deck that they can because it's a pet card. But definitely fun, nice little reprint, and also really awesome anime artwork for this. I'm not a huge fan of the anime artwork stuff. I think it's nice once in a while, but now they've kind of like every release now has anime artwork. So, but what can you do about it? Next we got Dark Confidant. 1 in a black creature human wizard. At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal the top card of your library and put that card into your hand. You lose life equal to its mana value. It's just a really solid card. I think it's nice that it's getting another reprint. I believe the last reprint might have been Double Masters. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, just a nice little slot into any kind of deck that you're playing with black into it. Maybe you need a little bit more card draw. The life loss might be negligible to you if you're playing a very low mana curve type of deck, unless you get hit with, I don't know, like a Rise from the Dark Realms, and you're like, well, darn. But just another nice piece of card draw, and now it's hovering about the $10 to $20 range. Before it was like $20 to $30, so definitely worth a pickup if you guys have been wanting this card, but the price point has kind of scared you away from it. I understand Magic is becoming a more and more expensive hobby, so definitely pick this up while you can. I think the lowest I've seen it at 10, but this is being recorded before the release, so it might even crash a little bit more down to maybe an $8 range. So definitely worth a pickup if you're playing any type of deck that needs it. You know, you Brina players, you Lotho players, mono black, anything like that. Next we got Pruvak the Grandiloquent. Someone's gonna have to type in the comments how to say that. 2 and a blue legendary creature, human advisor. If an opponent would mill 1 or more cards, they mill twice that many cards instead. I think the first print of this was in a Jumpstart product, and it was expensive, like $40 to $60 range. I don't know how much it's gonna go down now with this reprint in a remastered set, so it might not crash too much, but definitely if you guys want to play degenerate mill Magic, definitely this is pretty good, especially for like the newer cards that just came out in Rivals or Lost Caverns of Ixalan, the Dimir God, the one where you pay pitch something and then somebody mills that much cards equal to the CMC, this could definitely just slot into those, and I'm not looking forward to that. Next, we got Karlov of the Ghost Council, white and a black. Legendary creature, Spirit Advisor. Whenever you gain life, put 2+1/+1 counters on Karlov, and then you could pay Orzhov, remove 6+1/+1 counters, and then exile a target creature, and it is a 2/2. I believe the first iteration of this was from Commander 2015, and ever since then, it's been hovering at $40. Even on Magic Online, I think it was kind of expensive, but it hasn't really dipped too much. I checked the MTG Goldfish price history. It hasn't really dipped too far from $40. Maybe at the lowest, 25 to 30. But even till today, it's nice. It's pretty expensive. So rejoice, all you aristocrats players, life game players, to be able to pick this up at maybe hopefully a cheaper price. Maybe hopefully $20. I mean, a 2-mana commander that has a pretty powerful ability. I mean, there's so much life gain now, more than ever before, so this has just gotten even more powerful. So definitely pick this up if you guys have been wanting to build this type of deck, and you guys are looking for a new commander, something that's going to help you kind of control the board. And I mean, you're an Orzhov, so you're pretty much controlling the board anyway. Next, we got Cloudstone Curio, 3-mana artifact. Whenever a non-artifact permanent enters the battlefield under your control, you may return another permanent you control that shares a permanent type with it to its owner's hand. This is just, it's a combo piece. What can I say? I believe before this reprint, it was hovering probably around $40 to $50. I don't know what the price is going to settle at after the release, but it would be nice to see this at maybe a $25 price range. Honestly, I love the card, but I hate kind of putting it into the deck, because once this is out, you're probably gonna win. You're probably gonna go with the dockside sort of situation or anything like that. It's just nice to have the reprint, but I'm scared to see the reprint happen, because now there's going to be a bunch of it running around the streets out here just helping people combo off. Stupid dockside. But yeah, let me know if you guys are super excited about this reprint. I know probably a lot of you are, and I'm not happy about this. And I believe the last card for awesome reprints of Ravnica Remastered might as well just be a legendary enchantment. Oh no, sorry, that's not it. Dang it, I messed up again. No, this is not gonna be the enchantment. The last one's an enchantment, but this is gonna be Cyclonic Rift, 1 in a blue, instant, return target non-land permanent you don't control to its owner's hand, and then you could overload it for 7 mana. Just a commander staple at this point. If you're building any deck with blue in it, you're probably slotting in Cyclonic Rift, and the table's gonna hate you for it. When you play this, you're probably gonna win. It's always gonna be a great card. It's always been hovering around $20 to $30, maybe even more at this point. I haven't checked it, because I think when it first came out, I bought a couple. I was like, oh, that's kind of dumb, so let me go ahead and buy a lot of it. I believe that's when they're like $4 to $5 a piece. But now it is hovering at a pretty high price point, so hopefully this new reprint is going to help it come down a little bit. I know it's not going to come down a lot because it's a mythic and it's a master set, but you know, $5 to $10 is always a nice little price dip, especially because there's going to be 3 different versions of this. I believe, I think there's this one, the old bordered, and the regular one. So hopefully for the regular one, it's going to be the cheapest one out there. But I don't really have to explain much more of this. You guys, if you guys are watching this video, you guys have come across this and groaned heavily. But the last one might as well just be a legendary enchantment, like I said. Guardian Project, 3 in a green enchantment. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, if it doesn't have the same name as another creature you control, or another creature you control, or a creature card in your graveyard, draw a card. It is again, it's one of those cards. If you're building green, if you're building a heavy creature deck, you're gonna put this in there. Maybe you pair this off with Classroom Curio. Now you're flickering your not flickering, but now you're bouncing your dock side, and you're drawing a card when you cast it, and you do the whole thing again. But this card was hovering around $15 to $18, so definitely, hopefully this comes down to about like the $8 to $10 range, and more of you can finally pick this up and feel the power of the Guardian Project. But yeah, wanted to release a video before Christmas. I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas. Hope you guys are able to spend it with your family and have a day off and be able to unwind, relax, and kind of go back in time when you were a kid and you didn't have bills. But yeah, hopefully you guys, again, I don't know if this is going to be the last video for the year, but hopefully you guys have a great Christmas and Happy New Year's and all that stuff, and hopefully you guys are able to kick off the new year with a great start. Have a good day. Have a good day. No, but yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Have a good day, and yeah, thanks, guys.